Kafirin. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to go over hadith again. This hadith has two narrations. The hadith عن الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن شر الناس منزلة عند الله يوم القيامة من تركه الناس اتقاء فحشه. And there is another narration من تركه الناس اتقاء شره. That the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam telling the Sahaba that is the worst of the people, worst status, worst place in the day of judgment with Allah, من تركه الناس, who the people left him because he has a foul mouth. You know, he's like, when he talks nasty. When he deal with people, he hits. He's vulgar. He's rough. He's tough. People sometimes, sometimes you find a person that nobody want to talk to him. Nobody want to deal with him. That person is the worst place in the day of judgment with Allah. And again, for that person, Allah Azza wa Jal never mentioned any ibadat. Never mentioned siyam. Never mentioned qiyam. Never mentioned hajj. As what? As if you're, again, we always emphasize that your ibadat, if it doesn't change you, it doesn't make you a better person, it doesn't make you easy to deal with, it doesn't make you hayyinun layyin, if it doesn't make you soft-hearted, kind person, what is the ibadah? The ibadah doesn't, if it doesn't change you, you just either something wrong with you or something, that you don't understand it right. And that's what it is. Again, the brothers and sisters, you have to question your ibadat if people try to avoid you. It means your ibadat, it doesn't change you. As we always say, it doesn't transform you. That's what it is. Look at how you deal with people. Look how people dealing with you. If people avoiding you, don't think that you are good. Oh man, people are afraid of me. People are not afraid from a good person all the time. People, they're not running away from a good person. They don't run away from that's not a nasty person. That's not like a credential. It's not an indication that you are a good person. When people leave you alone, people don't want to be with you. And people don't want to be with you, it means you are somebody, it's not a good person. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أفضل الخلق, the best of his creation, قال فبما رحمة من الله لنت لهم ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. Oh ya Muhammad, with the sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, with the mercy of your Lord, لنت لهم, that you are soft to them, kind-hearted. فبما رحمة من الله لنت لهم. And if you are fad, غليظ القلب, that you are rough and tough and angry and mad, the people will leave you even if you have the revelation. Can you imagine that? What does the brothers and sisters again supposed to mean? When you know that you're doing whatever you're doing and people, they're afraid of you, people, they try to avoid you, now you already know your status with Allah. You already know, what is your place going to be with Allah. You already know, because Allah is telling you, do not be deceived by how many rak'ah you do in the masjid. Do not be deceived if you get up in the middle of the night. Because if that doesn't change you, if your qiyam doesn't change you, if reading the Quran doesn't change you, if the salah doesn't change you, if the hadith doesn't change, what it will? It means you have to question your heart. Because normally the word of Allah Azza wa Jal will soften your heart. The word of Allah is soften your heart. The hadith of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it should soften your heart. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Al-Muslim man salim al-nasu min yadihi wa lisaneh. A Muslim is the one that people feel safe from his hand and from his tongue. His hand, the one he destroy with, and physically, and his tongue, the one who destroy emotionally. And if you think that, and if you think you are rough and tough and this and that, you need to question that, because you're rough and tough over here. But in the day of judgment, you're placed with Allah, wal-iyadu billah, hellfire. When Allah says, so, and, your status, manzila, that your manzila is sharrun nasi manzilatan. It means the worst of the worst is going to be your status or your place in the day of judgment. Can you imagine, dear brothers and sisters, again, if we do all this, we do all the siyam, we do all the qiyam, we do all the salah, some people, they go to Hajj 29 times. I met somebody in Mecca that did Hajj 36 times. 36 times. Rasul never mentioned how many times he did Hajj. Never mentioned how many times he did Umrah. And Rasul again, he says, Sharr al-nas, man tarakahu nas, not the Muslimin. It means you have to be a Muslim. They will say a Muslim like the water. Aynama waqa nafa. It means you are it should be like a water. Where is the water fall, something will grow. Either seeds, flowers, trees, whatever. You should be like that. That's what we are, the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And again, Allah Azza wa Jal give us that status. Look over here, sharrun nas. ولكن for the ummah, Allah Azza wa Jal says, كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. We always say that. It's not a slogan that we just try to say it. It's a status that will reach. That's the status. It means that's the status. You need to, that status should be your target, should be your goal, should be your motto, that I'm going to be what Allah Azza wa Jalla want to be. I want to be كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You are the best nation that came to mankind. Can you imagine that? When somebody tell you, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, if you are a school, son, you are the best student that we ever have. Can you imagine that? It's the other side. You know what? You are the worst student. You are the worst place. You failing, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Can you imagine that? شَتَّانَ بَيْنَ الثَّرَى وَالثَّرَى. There is two different between both places and both status. Why Allah Azza wa Jalla says, قال كنت تأمرون بالمعروف. When you are, when you, like what do you call it, asking forgiveness, it comes from the heart. وتنهون عن المنكر, that you forbid bad, coming from the heart. And that's what it is, brother. We always say, every single thing that you deal with, every single that you say, everything that you do, it has to come from the heart. Sometimes you try to hide, but sometimes your tongue will show who you are. How many people they say something, they say something nice, they try to pretend like this, pretend of that. Just get with an argument with him. All of a sudden, the true color will come out. Always. You cannot hide. Your tongue will always expose you. نسأل الله العزيز القدير أن يجعلنا ممن يسمعون الكلام فيتبعون أحسنه. إني داع فأمنه. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت، وعافنا فيمن عافيت، وتولنا فيمن توليت، وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت، وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قدرته وقضيت، فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك، وإنه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من وليت، تباركت ربنا وتعاليت، فلك الحمد يا ربنا على من أنعمت به وأوليت. نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك. اللهم أرنا الحق حق وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. قربنا من تحبه وترضاه، وابعدنا عما يغضبك يا الله. اللهم كما أحسنت خلقنا فأحسن خلقنا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك حبك وحب من يحبك وحب عمل يقربنا إلى حبك. اللهم تقبل صيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وسحورنا وقراءة القرآن وقيام الليل وتراويحنا. اللهم تقبل طاعاتنا، اللهم تقبل طاعاتنا. اللهم اغفر لنا تقصيرنا في رمضان يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم لا تجعل هذا رمضان يمضي إلا وقد عفوت عنا وغفرت لنا ورحمتنا وجعلتنا من عتقاء هذا الشهر الفضيل يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك عبدك ونبيك وحبيبك ومصطفاك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، ونستخير ونستجير ونستعيد مما استجار واستعاذ به منك وبك عبدك ونبيك وحبيبك ومصطفاك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا تقبل دعاء. رب اغفر لي ولوالدي رب ارحمهما كما ربيان صغيرا. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله كل خير. أسعد الله أوقاتكم.